Well, guess what, folks? Same situation with the Q46 again. Here at Long Island Jewish. 1017 bus didn't show up. 1023 bus didn't show up. I don't know what is going on today, because literally about, I would say, 25 minutes ago, when I got dropped off here by my dad, 2 buses, Orion 7 old gens, they were sent to the depot, and then there was another bus that was down by the other office building. And guess who's here? The taxis are already here to come and rip us off for 40 bucks just to go to Kew Gardens. I'm on my way to Greenwich Village to do a nice video today on this nice November-like day. It feels like November out here, even though it is October 17th. And you know who I really feel bad for, folks? There's a mom with her kid here, and I was going to make sure that I could organize the bus by, you know, making sure that her kid could be in the handicap seats. You know, the ones that say, please give up the seats to the elderly, because keeping in mind, it should also be for the moms with the strollers. So I'm making sure she's going to get those seats. There's literally a young kid here. He's about, I don't know, 2 or 3 years old. All right, here comes the bus, 2 minutes late. Which, I don't know. There's now going to be a missing leader, because 1017 was supposed to be the leader. But this is what we have to deal with every time at Queens Village. And I just hope later on when I'm in Jamaica, I don't have to deal with antics from Casey Steingle or the other depot in Jamaica. Because if the 30 is overcrowded and people are going to want the Chargers, and if I see the 31 coming, like last time, believe me, I'm going to take the 31 if it's not overcrowded. So I care more about, you know, not dealing with an overcrowded bus. I have a bad feeling this is going to be 1034. Let's move back. Yep, here he comes. 6434, and he's backing up. Yeah, he's probably going to fill the 1034 run. Unbelievable. See, this is what these drivers do. There's 1034, and then there's the 1040. That's nothing. One time, 3 buses went missing, and I had to wait till 11 o'clock just to get a bus. And by the way, I'm going to leave that video right now on the card if you want to know what I'm talking about, because, I mean, again, I've had my irate moments this past year, but I'm pretty much sucking it up. Because nothing gets rectified in an hour. I might take the nice bus. I might just go to New Hyde Park and then get the train at New Hyde Park at this point. I might just take the Long Island Railroad going in. Because this is just ridiculous. Nothing gets solved in an hour. Because again, they were supposed to be 2 runs right now. There was supposed to be 1017, 1023. Oh, wait, I think he's starting up the route. Which now he's going to be about 5 minutes late. Ridiculous. Well, I'm going to make sure the female passengers get on first, because I'm not going to be rude. And let's just hope that, you know, inside it won't be dirty. I am going to be inspecting it when we get it on board. Well, the honor of the mess, folks. Apparently, more trash here. Once again, this is an Orion 7 old gen, 2003-2004 model. We're on 6436, and bus is dirty. But look at this, we've got everything left on the floor, and the back dirty. Look what somebody left on here. Oh my God. We do. Somebody needs to sit here. Somebody leaves that there. This bus is going to get overcrowded. Ridiculous. This napkin was on the seat. And there's gum. I don't know, folks. This engine, I'm getting nervous about this engine. I don't know if this is going to stall out or not, because the driver has the heat on blast, and something may not be right with this engine. This is what you get with bad maintenance practices, folks. He's something even more ridiculous. We already should have been on the road, and the driver's waiting until 10:34 to make us go. You can't make this stuff up with Queens Village. You just can't. And again, I'm gonna leave it on the screen right now. If you can get to the board meeting on Monday, please tell Andy Byford we need help. I'm urging, if anybody can go on Monday, we need to tell Andy Byford, plain simple, we need an investigation on the Queens Village bus depot. And in fact, the governor right now should be putting Queens Village under audit. And then do an investigation. This is just ridiculous. And here comes an overcrowded eastbound bus that's just dropping off passengers. Take a look at this. And by the way, in the card right now, I'll also mention that Mark Malinero did an interesting ad the other day. He, listen to this entry for a second. But he did an interesting ad the other day. He was like, you know, people are complaining about the MTA, and once again, it's time to point the finger at Andrew Cuomo. It really is. And again, people really need to think it out on November 6th, because if you want to stay in New York, if you want your mass transit to improve, please vote for Mark Malinero. Because he's at least going to fix the subways, and hopefully, maybe the whole MTA can be under audit next year. So I'm thinking that's what the Malinero administration should do. First 2 months of the new administration, and this is the same thing Phil Murphy did in New Jersey. If Phil Murphy can put New Jersey Transit under audit, then why can't, honestly, we get MTA under an audit? Particularly New York City Transit, and I'll mention it very briefly here, the Long Island Railroad. Oh, that's a fail with nice bus. N25 is a missing sign. It just says 25 on it. Just wanted to quickly mention that. And I'm very worried about this engine. Now let's listen. Yeah, when we accelerate, the engine sounds fine. It's just that when we stop, I think it's the issue, because the heater is just being overworked, I think. Yeah, see, here's the thing. I think what happens is when the driver's applying the brakes, that's when the bus is making the noise. Worst comes to worst, maybe if Keith Fullivert is the Attorney General, and keeping in mind, this Attorney General's race is historic. Because, think about it, both the Democrat and Republican are black, alright? It's never happened, first of all, in the history of New York. Second, no matter what, we're going to be guaranteed our first black Attorney General. It's never happened before in New York State. And let's just say if Letitia James does win, she would be the first black person, first of all, to be Attorney General, and second, she would be the first woman to be Attorney General in New York. But the reason why I'm supporting Keith Fullivert, off-topic subjects, is because of the opioid problem. We gotta clean up the mess. I don't know Letitia James' platform, but I'm very worried if she becomes the Attorney General, because then that means next year we have to have a special runoff election for New York City public advocates. That's what it would mean. Literally, what would happen is, January, if Letitia James does get elected, which she is leading in the polls, which, again, New York is just too stupid to keep voting for Democrats. if she wins, that means we have to have a runoff election next year for New York City public advocate. So, just want to remind everybody about that. And the problem is, I have a bad feeling Corey Johnson's going to run for public advocate. Which, that's another topic for another time. That's why I'm very worried also about it. Pretty much, if you know me, I'm worried about governor, I'm worried about attorney general, and I'm worried about state senate. Especially, again, you know my ties to that election very closely with Vicky Palladino. So, there's that. But Keith Over is watching this video right now. Maybe he can do something about this. Or maybe if Letitia James actually cared about us, right now as public advocate, she would be coming here to Queens and taking the buses with us before she even gets elected. Oh, look at this! This is chipped! This is chipped! This is exactly why, not just the subways, the buses need to be put into a state of emergency. They have to at this point. Because I'm just annoyed. I'm just fed up. I'm going to take a seat because... Oh! Graffiti! Ridiculous. See, I'm just at a loss for words. I thought a whole year from now, this situation would be rectified. No, it hasn't. No, it hasn't. Drivers just don't care about maintenance. They don't care about cleanliness. And again, the driver from this bus, he's probably used to work for Nice Bus. He used to work for Nice Bus, probably. This is exactly not... This is our Nice Bus. And, you know, I'll quickly mention it. I'm very upset about Ed Mangano's trial being delayed next year. I'm still upset about that. But I hope the legal system will put him behind bars and maybe we'll get some justice for Nice Bus in the short run. But in the long run, I'm just hoping that we, again, have a heart and a conscience. We all vote Republican on November 6th. And we all think for ourselves. Don't let the Cuomo machine hypnotize you. Don't. I think things could change if we get Mark Molinaro. I'm just at a loss for words today. It's 10:39 right now. I don't even know what time I'm going to be at Kew Gardens at this point because I'm just beyond angry. Because again, shouting and yelling again. I've done that numerous times in the past year. I don't want to do that again. But one last point I'm going to make, and I'm going to bring this up. Everybody knows about my meeting with MTA Prodigy, and I'll say it again. On November 17th, when I, have my segment at Hicksville, and I'm going to say it again, I'm really going to have it with the Queens Village Depot when I do my segment at Hicksville. Somebody needs to put Queens Village under investigation. In the short run, that would be our answer. Until then, for another month, we're stuck with this mess. Well, actually, another 2 months, unless, people actually, again, use their minds, think for themselves, and realize that, again, Andrew Cuomo is an evil, narcissistic person, and he needs to be re-elected out. And one last thing I'm going to leave in the card right now. There's 3 videos in the card. I mentioned My video back from May. I know I mentioned another video back at Long Island Jewish. Worst comes to worst, I can always put that in the card. But in the third card right now, you should be seeing Pine Power LI's video. Because Cuomo is actually thinking about tearing down trees in Rockville Center. So if that's a governor who's really a narcissist, and I tell people this all the time, Andrew Cuomo is worse than Donald Trump. He is 10 times worse than Donald Trump. And Trump is a narcissist too. But him and Cuomo are egomaniacs. Until then, we all know what we have to do. We all know what we have to do. Because this is ridiculous. Just want to show the brilliance of Kew Gardens Union Turnpike today. Somebody put graffiti right here. And we even have a problem. There's trash on the tracks. Again. I've been saying this for a while, but this is why we regularly meet Darth Vader. And you know what I'm talking about, everyone. If you don't, the cleaning machine. I call it Darth Vader because it's a big sweeping machine. And look at this. You know what's even this trash? You're the homeless. Here comes my train. I just wanted to show you, you know, this is a neglected station. People need to pay attention to what's going on around them. I'm not getting on that car because if the train derails, I'm not going to be safe. I need to be in the fourth car. I'm going to get on board. But I just want to show you what mess we are still in at Kew Gardens Union Turnpike. Bad enough after all the agony I went through here in Queens, it got worse in Manhattan on the one line. And I'll show you the video I took at Times Square 42nd Street as soon as I'm done talking about what happened. But the first thing I want to talk about is when I was going to Houston Street, the PA system was broken, and I actually had to make all the announcements letting everybody know what stops the trains was making. And one of the passengers didn't even know World Trade Cortland reopened. So it's just already been a bad experience as it is. And then I have to find out first through Twitter that there was an incident at the 66th Street station. And thankfully, my ABC affiliate here in New York did a story about it. Tim Fleischer didn't report at noon, but I will read you this article in just a second, and I'll take you to the end of the video, which was the crowded platform at Times Square 42nd Street that I filmed at. So, let's read this article. Unfortunate story happened at 66th Street, Lincoln Center. A 76-year-old man is in critical condition after falling onto the tracks at a Manhattan station and being struck by a train. It happened around 10 a.m. at the Lincoln Center 66th Street 1 train station on the Upper West Side. Police say the man suffered from some kind of medical episode which caused him to fall. The conductor did not see him and the victim was struck by the train. He was rushed to New York Presbyterian Weill Cornell Medical Center in critical condition. No criminality was suspected. Service on the 1, 2, and 3 lines were temporarily suspended as first responders removed the victim and for the police investigation. And trust me, I will say this right now. I saw the 3 train pulling in right after noon, and I will tell you this right now. That train was packed. It was a sardine house in there. Those people going to Brooklyn, you had to feel bad for them because I was only going to Greenwich Village, but these people were going probably to Brooklyn or trying to get express service in the city. And this is what I mean. The antics always happen, and I feel bad for this man, but this is what we constantly have to deal with. And before I take you to the video, another dumb thing happened on the 6 train today. We gotta talk about what happened on the 6 train. I might as well talk about what happened today because something crazy happened that people were tweeting about. This was around 9:30 this morning. Yeah, here we go. This was it right here. NBC New York. This is what I was looking at earlier. Mechanical issues cause loud noises, and I apologize, everyone. I don't know why someone's calling me right now. I'm trying to get you this article because the internet's just being slow today. But I will first tell you how I heard about this. So, earlier this morning, as I was on my way to get the 46, my dad rudely changed the radio station because WCBS 880 was first reporting about this, which, thanks to Wayne Cabot from WCBS 880 for first bringing this up to me. So, here's what happened earlier this morning. A mechanical issue disrupted service and caused two loud noises passengers reported as they rode the 6 train earlier this morning, the MTA said. The agency said it was investigating it after riders reported hearing 2 explosion sounds as their train left 59th Street Lexington Avenue station. In a tweet not long after, the MTA said the incident was caused by a mechanical issue. The issue was related to the train's brakes, the NYPD said. 6 trains were running express between Grand Central Terminal and Harlem 125th Street as the MTA investigated this incident. Service did resume at 9:40 a.m. when WCBS AM 880 first reported this story. So, of course, WCBS 880 was getting this story, believe it or not, at their own Twitter handle. And then they had to verify it with the MTA. So once again, I want to give credit to credit's due. Thank you, WCBS AM 880, for first reporting this story, because they were the ones who first broke this. And then NBC4, who, they usually do cover mass transit stories lately, and I'll give them credit. Because lately, some of the local media does care about mass transit these days. Because again, in the age of Trump, they have to talk about these stories because it impacts everyone. So this user, at Kim Wirtz, said, 2 loud explosion sounds on the 6 train as we exited Lexington Avenue and 59th Street Station. Currently being held at 68th Street for investigation. Scary. Hashtag MTA. And I believe, if I'm correct, right, the next station, yeah, I think this was right around the area of Hunter College. Right, now I know this area very well. Now I remember it, because I took the 6th train to Lexington Avenue with my friend earlier this year. Alright, 2 loud explosion, yeah, okay, here's another one. Ann Piola at Small Big City tweeted at 8:59 a.m. 6 train stopped northbound after 2 large noises heard in each car going out of the 59th Street station. Train stopped at 68th Street. No one hurt, but the noises were scary. 2 flashes of light. Next car over confirmed same phenomena on the same side of the train car, right side. Possibly track issue on right side. Well, I know what this was. The automatic brakes got deployed again. As me and Jason Pinero have been talking about, this has been going on the entire system since June. And I'm going to say this again. Where's the Federal Transportation Administration? Where are they? They need to do an investigation. Andy Byford, do something. I know you're putting the subways as a priority, but if you cared, you would conduct your own investigation. Why has this been going on since June? This has been going on now for almost 4 months. I apologize, everyone. I'm just annoyed what's been going on today. This is interesting. The Long Island Railroad's been having problems too today. Apparently, track condition, westbound trains were skipping by. Let me see if this is recent. And I apologize, everyone. I just want to see when this tweet was. Oh, take a look at this, folks. This is just happening right now. Guess what we have on the Long Island Railroad? Issues. Thank goodness my 211 eastbound to Long Beach didn't have any problems, because if it did, I would have been annoyed, because I rely on that train. That train's an express that does not make local stops. Boy, look at this. The Long Island Railroad's been having problems. Westbound LIRR trains are temporarily bypassing Kew Gardens, Forest Hills, and Woodside due to a track condition. Customers can travel to Penn Station and transfer back east to Jamaica. And New York City Transit's cross-honoring on the E at Jamaica. Kew Gardens, Union Turnpike, and Forest Hill, 71st Avenue, and the 7 line at Woodside, 61st Street. And the Port Washington branch is unaffected. That wouldn't surprise me. And more nonsense. On the Atlantic line. Broken rail near East New York. Can't make this stuff up. This is odd. My congresswoman talked to Philip Bang today. This is Grace Ming. This is my congresswoman. Good meeting with new Long Island Railroad President Philip Bang, discussing improving service providers, the renovations and upgrades of Long Island Railroad stations in Queens, and other issues. Also thanked him for saving the Leverett Boulevard Bridge in Kew Gardens. Okay, let's see. And Pine Power LI bought this up to me. We had signal trouble at New Hyde Park. So this is interesting. I just want to see if this affected the 1110 eastbound train to Huntington. Ironically, this didn't happen until... When did this happen? Let's get a time frame, and I'll take you right to the video I shot at Times Square, 42nd Street. But again, it just comes to show that this railroad always is going to have problems. Alright, so this didn't happen until afternoon. Because Pine Power LI texted me around 1 o'clock, and I didn't get the message till I took the Q31 to go home. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's see what else is going on here. Right, nothing big has happened at the moment. Alright. If anything else is going on here. I'm not really going to get into it more, but that's just the news I needed to discuss today regarding mass transit. So now, regarding this story, I will take you to the video that I filmed earlier this afternoon at Times Square, 42nd Street, as service was just resuming. Now I'm at Times Square, 42nd Street, and already more chaos. I don't know if Queens Village screwed me in Queens. Now we have a problem on the 1 line. Person was struck by a train at 66th Street, and we're wondering what's going to happen, because right now... Train 2, South Ferry, approaching the station. Please stand away. Well, finally, here it comes, but it's been ridiculous. They're sending northbound trains express all the way to 72nd Street. I just hope southbound service is not affected because of this. And I say this again, Mark Molinaro is right. We have to fix our system. But in order for that to happen, we all have to do our part on November 6th. Oh, overcrowded. Overcrowded. 1896. I don't know if I can get that far, but yeah.